name is Bonnie Ellingworth, and I'd like to tell you about our Earth. Dear friends of the universe, I would like to tell you a few things about our planet Earth. Many people and animals live on Earth. Biologically, all people are basically alike on the inside, but on the outside, people look different and have different skin colors, like black or white.
How often does a teacher get to say to a kid, I'm going to give you the chance to speak to the future. What you're going to say is going to be preserved, just like the words of Socrates or Sophocles or somebody like this. And the whole thing just got so exciting that I could not resist. It became really kind of an intellectual seduction that was wonderful.
A typical day in Fred Moore Junior High School. A white girl is walking down the hall and suddenly she slams a black girl against a locker and continues walking. In just one day, you may see this many times. When you see this, you might think it is unfair, but there's really nothing you can do by yourself. Ethnocentrism in my country and around the world is a big problem. For years, it's been blacks against whites. In my opinion, ethnocentrism is something we all have to fight until it stops. Think of all the people that have been senselessly killed because of ethnocentrism in your world.
I have many thoughts and feelings about what is happening to our world. We share this world with many people for a limited time. And what are we doing? We're destroying it.
There is no heaven and there is no hell, save what you make for yourself. I will not crawl on my belly like some slave for its master. I will stand free and proud, or not at all.
That's the ability to communicate across time and place. That's truly miraculous. Very exciting.
It's 1990. We're fifth graders from Countryside School in Edina, Minnesota, United States of America, planet Earth. It has been said that we hold the future of the world in our hands. If we really do, we need to make some big changes in the way we live and treat our environment.
Humankind has traveled a long historical journey. Our knowledge of this journey has taken us back to the very beginnings of time, and yet there is so much more to be known. Our existence is but the blink of an eye in terms of cosmic time, and the period of recorded history is shorter still. During this brief period of our existence on Earth, many civilizations have come and gone. There have been many people, many cultures and ways of life. We marvel as we look to the past, and in so doing, we gain a greater understanding of ourselves. All civilizations, all the people and events of the past have created our world of today, and similarly, our thoughts and the events of today shape the future. Together, all of our lives are intimately tied to the continuing journey of our species, as we all write our own pages in this grand story of humanity. I'd like to invite you to come with me as we explore the past and celebrate the present, as we prepare a message for the future. We'll be taking our journey with the World Time Capsule.
Then it's back to the future for One St. Paul School.
And how will this music sound to space aliens in the future? You'll find out after this.
The World Time Capsule is a collection of images, literature, and sounds which will chronicle the story of humanity for present and future times. It will be a personal story, compiled by people from around the world to share the knowledge and experiences of their lives. As a time capsule, it will be buried to preserve its contents for future generations. But the World Time Capsule will also be accessible, a sort of living time capsule, allowing people the world over a unique and rare view of humanity.
The first off is we the people. It seems to me that's a really appropriate theme for us addressing in the next 200 years also. But I think we need to almost do a paradigm shift. Instead of that being a nationalistic term only, it seems to me we the people has to be a global. And again, the focus of World Time Capsule is to focus on all of humankind. And so I think we the people would be an important driving mechanism for us to involve kids in exploring that.
The World Time Capsule will not only be preserved here on Earth, but will also be sent into outer space, where it will carry its human legacy forever.
Some very special messages from some very creative students. Carol Evans, Carolyn Marion got a sneak preview of what future generations will someday hear and see.
The second and third graders at J.J. Hill Elementary School in St. Paul are thinking about space tonight. That's where some of their most profound thoughts will be floating on a laser disc, hopefully by the year 2000. The kids recorded more than 20 special messages in the school gym this morning. The messages represent what's most important to the kids, a sort of history book for future generations.
This is how she sneezes.
All the music, dance, and creative ideas were videotaped and will be transferred to a laser disc. One will be buried, while other copies will go to museums, and one will be launched into orbit as a timeless kind of space capsule. It was a proud morning for students, teachers, and parents alike, and it was exciting to immortalize a few moments for future historians. Carolyn Marion, Carol 11 News, St. Paul.
So nice.
I like the notion of students being asked to identify the 2 or 3 items, events, people, values that they as an individual value so much that humankind would be sorry to have missed it. And I like kids thinking about those kinds. In fact, I think we all ought to periodically, much more periodically than we do. And then asking follow-up questions about why. Why are those 2 or 3 values, people, events, etc.? Why are they so important to them?
And I value art.
And we value music. We like music because it makes us move. We move to the beat.
And we value food because it is good for you. We value abstract art. We value the red wall. Art is a wonderful feeling. Art is important to me because whenever I feel sad, art makes me feel good.
What does it mean to be human? And as they explicate those kinds of things as to what it means to be human, how do we get to be more so?
Art is like finding a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. This is a song called Bless the Beast and Her Children. It is a song to remind people all over the world to stop killing animals for their furs and to protect children. After all, children and animals are valuable resources.
Bless the beast and the children. For in this world they have no voice. They have no choice.
It's when art and human communication at all levels is at its most powerful. And to see kids get excited and turned on to that, and to be able to discuss it with clarity and intelligence, it's so exciting.
Here's our alphabet. I want you to know our alphabet because yours may be different. We use the alphabet for making words. People on Earth have different alphabets. Do people in space have different ones? That's all.
How intriguing it is to be able to have this opportunity. And the kids say that to me too. It's wonderful to think that my voice will be heard sometime in the future. I don't know how many adults can say that something that they have done is going to be preserved for generations. This is so empowering, and the kids understand that and react very strongly, very positively.
Like the wind, when the darkness surrounds them, give them love, let it shine all around them.
The World Time Capsule invites all people around the world to contribute to this human story and write their own personal pages of history. But in particular, youth will play a key role in this project through educational programs in their schools. Students of all ages will work on their usual classroom assignments, but with a somewhat unusual mission. They will be communicating their thoughts on their particular subject matter to other people, other places, and other times. In the classroom, the project will serve as a versatile means of curriculum enrichment to both assist educators and benefit students. Teachers will be provided with a creative motivational tool open to their needs, while students will be challenged in an exciting learning environment.
So liberating the teacher from being the promoter or the disseminator of the data or information to a more of a mentoring role where the teacher and the students are inquiring into things that are important to them that are going to make society better really excites me.
Education in today's modern world needs to be more purpose-centered. Facts and figures are of course important, but this kind of knowledge is meaningless without personal insight. Students need to address questions of value, both personal and cultural, to develop the necessary skills to participate effectively in the world of today and tomorrow. The World Time Capsule will assist in moving the emphasis in teaching from providing knowledge and toward teaching students how to handle knowledge, how to find it, how to use it, and how to evaluate it. It will also stress the understanding of society and the prospects for humankind.
It stretches their mind. The idea of communicating to some future people stretches their minds in a way that I think it's very difficult to do in regular academic courses.
Students evaluate the importance of their subject matter as it relates to themselves, to others, and to the future. And they consider a different perspective in their thinking, a global perspective, which views the world and its people with understanding and concern. This requires their understanding and respect for the similarities and differences of the people around the world, and a sensitivity and awareness for the global community of which we are all an integral part.
It invites play, it invites creativity, it invites analysis. All kinds of wonderful thought processes are unleashed by giving them this opportunity.
Students embark upon an exploration of knowledge, venturing beyond their immediate worlds, and returning perhaps a little wiser, a little more enlightened to the world they thought they knew as their own, and certainly excited for the thoughts which they will have shared with the future.
I must read a scenario of the future of possibly if the economic situation continues as it is. The year 2010, the recession of the past decade has turned into a full-scale depression. Millions of people are unemployed, and millions more barely survive the incredible price of food. $5 per loaf of bread and $8 per gallon of milk. Nearly all jobs are paying at minimum wage, $5.65.
I did a musical composition, virtual design composition with Lynn Formative as well, based on George Orwell's book Facts and Days. The beginning part is like a very drab type, in the sense of very setting. And it gets into sort of a solo piece where I express the sadness of people instead of, it's not from the views of government, it's not from these are the environments, but it's from the people.
I have wonderful and disturbing information about the planet Earth. Drugs are a major problem in the world today. They cause crime, and most importantly, they cause death. War is also dreadfully common on Earth.
The United States is in trouble, and I would like to tell you why. Overpopulation is a big part of it.
I would like to explain why our planet is in trouble. In the Amazon rainforest, thousands of trees are being cut down daily to make room for farmland. I would like to explain to you why our planet Earth is in trouble. First of all, the ozone layer that protects the Earth from the sun's ultraviolet rays is being destroyed by pollution. I would like to explain to you why our planet Earth is in trouble. First, our planet is very overpopulated, and basically that's how it all started. Now because of it, many people on planet Earth are starving.
In conclusion, the Earth is wonderful, yet it has a long, difficult journey ahead to achieve a more peaceful and loving society.
Everybody has personal responsibilities, and they take those seriously. And those are local responsibilities, and what I see being able to happen in World Time Capsules to make students really aware of the whole notion that those civic virtues, those responsibilities, and rights along with those need to be they need to transcend the local and national to this global scene.
Have you ever really looked at a spider web? There are many kinds, but one thing is alike about all of them. They are all connected in one way or another. If you move one thread even a little, the whole web moves. If you break one web, the whole web changes shape. If you break an important thread, the whole web falls apart. Life on Earth is a lot like that. Sometimes scientists call it the web of life because everything is connected in one way or another.
When pollution is damaging our environment, these pollutions affects our land, water, and air.
Garbage dumping is really destroying our environment. The garbage isn't only bad for the environment, it's bad for us too. There are many cancer-causing agents or carcinogens in burning garbage. Almost all of our garbage is recyclable, but people think it's a big hassle.
Pollution is another problem because people breathe it, eat it, and walk in it.
Hopefully whoever reads this next won't have the problem of garbage and pollution.
We're talking about water pollution. The year is 1900. The water is nice and blue. The animals are happy and the environment is good too.
The year is 1930. Someone has polluted the water slightly, but not enough to matter.
The year is 1960. Trucks are starting to dump waste into the ocean. They are finding out that we are starting to pollute. Pollution is becoming a very serious problem.
The year is 1990. No one seems to be noticing the pollution that has gathered up over the years. The once clean, pretty animal habitat has now turned into a big mess. In the future, when you hear and see this, what will your environment be like? We won't be clean and healthful because now we're trying to undo all the bad things we've done to the earth during the past.
Americans are killing thousands of animals in deserts and forests each year. For their skin and fur, for jackets, coats, and other accessories we simply don't need. Some animals are used in research labs for medical experiments. These innocent animals are greatly suffering and dying in these experiments. For example, mice are genetically altered to carry all the genes of the AIDS virus and human cancer. Some animals need help to survive. Some of us are trying to help and others don't care. But those who are against fur clothing see the problem quite differently. They say people can choose to wear coats made out of other materials. They say animals who have no choice are forced to suffer and die. Some animals have trouble surviving in modern society are in danger of becoming extinct. I think people who wear fur coats are cruel. We are killing poor innocent animals for no reason. How would people like it if animals came out with their guns, bows and arrows, and their bazookas and killed us to make coats? A lot of people treat their pets a lot better than they treat people. These innocent animals will probably become extinct, sometimes in the centuries ahead, if we don't do something about this. I know we need some animals for things. I'm just simply saying don't destroy or wipe them out.
Probably one of the few times we have been able in a public school system to affirm in a student that their experience is crucially important. And then when that's transmitted to another kid, whether it's in another school in this area, another state, hopefully to another country, and eventually to another civilization altogether. That's very exciting, that meeting of human minds, what is important to me. Here's what my experience has been. How do you react to that?
I'm an American teenager and would like to tell you about my culture. I usually like to wear faded jeans, a t-shirt, and high-top shoes. That's pretty much some of the ideal clothing that us teens wear. Although we're all different, so some of us like other kinds of clothing, such as Guess jeans, Rude Dog sweatshirts, Nike Air tops, and some others too. Today, in these days, teen fads are really cool. One is Nintendo, video arcade in your own home. Lots of teens collect Nintendos. Others may collect bikes, skateboards, movies, and kinds of music, any kind of music, like rap, heavy metal, pop, and rock. Whether you think so or not, food's another fad, like McDonald's, for instance. Hamburgers, fries, shakes, and colas are a pretty common food that teens eat, but if hamburgers aren't your taste, there's always pizza. 13-year-olds have many responsibilities at school and at home. At school, they make you be there on time every day. You also have to behave and pay attention while you're learning. When you get home, your teacher expects you to do more work. This is commonly known as homework. I would like to show you a picture of something very special on Earth and explain to you why it's so important to teenagers of the year 1990. I think that something really important to us is a music group called New Kids on the Block.
Parents just don't understand.
So all three of these, understanding, concern, and personal involvement in civic virtue, are essential elements, I think, to World Time Capsule. And in my discussion with students that have been involved in the World Time Capsule projects, as well as the teachers, I've been impressed with their concern for these kinds of matters, both now and in the past, and more importantly, in the future.
The need to be powerful, the need to be better than somebody else, to always be above someone, no matter who it is, to be the lowest scum of the earth person, but somebody's better than him. He's better than somebody in some way. So, and I just wrote that. I hope someday that we won't feel the need to be so powerful, and we won't try so hard to be better than everyone else, and that we can maybe just accept everyone who they are.
It's quite common for the group that is dominant in society to have its value system adopted by the majority of the people.
Out of this came the new philosophies of Charles Fourier and Karl Marx of the utopian society and Marxism, and how in their application so far it has failed. And then I went through that because it's failed, what can we do to change the capitalist system as it is to make it effective? Because the way we're going right now, we're headed towards disaster.
Well, it's definitely a guideline for what not to do.
We have a very serious problem occurring on our planet Earth. Drugs, which are almost everywhere. War. We have to face it. We would all like peace, but that is almost impossible. Murder. Some people just don't care. And we don't really need people like that roaming the street. Pollution.
People no longer seem to care about each other. Many people, especially in the U.S., are surrounded by riches and electronics, while nearby countries and their own people suffer in starvation and poverty. There's war between countries, and in the U.S., wedding vows are almost a joke.
People are dishonest and steal or are on drugs. World peace seems like a lost cause. In conclusion, planet Earth is in trouble, in serious trouble unless we can change our ways.
The fact is, drugs can kill.
I'm afraid of the future. I know it will change, and hopefully it will change for the good of everyone and remain that way for generations.
Our planet has a very serious problem, and this problem needs help now.
I hope you've learned something about our world from my point of view. Maybe in the future we can solve the mystery of ethnocentrism and why it happens. Maybe you can find peace in your lifetime like I have hoped to in mine.
Each individual has certain responsibilities that they actually carry out, and they don't need to be enforced. They don't need to be pressured into this. They feel this responsibility. That could be ethical dimensions to civic virtue as well as environmental. But it certainly has to do with how we interact with one another. And things like racism and prejudice and discrimination should not be part of the civic virtue. And each of us must be personally involved in ridding humankind of those particular ills.
This project enables me to empower my students to use thought processes that I normally cannot do if I'm curriculum driven.
Everybody needs to be in touch and to keep in school with humanities, and that makes sure of, like Leonardo da Vinci said, the complete man. And I feel more, I mean, I just touched on them, but I still feel more complete than I was, and I matured through it. Feel a lot better.
All humankind will be the beneficiary of these students' actions and commitments. And I feel that World Time Capsule provides these students with a magnificent opportunity.
By studying our history helps us learn more about ourselves.
This was a project that enabled me to do all of the things for students that I wanted to do, to move them beyond the basic kinds of thinkings, to use the higher order thinking skills, and to be as creative as they wanted to be. And it was so rewarding to see the kid that I had forgotten was a visual artist turn in an art project, or to be able to see a student who is musically inclined not just react to somebody else's music, but to actually make a piece of music of their very own and present it on tape. That was very exciting to see. It's very rare that we get to do that in a public school classroom.
Johann Sebastian Bach was born in 1685, died in 1750 in Eisenach, Germany. Ludwig van Beethoven was born in 1770, died in 1827 in Bonn, Germany. Both of them traveled a lot. Now I will play Minuet in G major by Bach and then Sonatina by Beethoven. Hi, my name is Ashley Horan. I value freedom. Freedom is your mind, and make it for other people. Make freedom your goal too.
So I think this is an exciting project for students as well as for teachers.
I value art. It makes me happy. It may make you happy because I like to draw. In the picture you will see how much I practice. Did you know you can show your feelings? It's so it's creative.
The project is designed to get the best out of kids, and that was very exciting for me as a teacher.
Jewish life is important to me. It is my way of life. Jewish life is important to the world. Without it, there would be no Jewish people in the world. For without Jewish life, there could be no Jewish people, because without life, you cannot live.
We value learning. Without learning, people couldn't do mathematics, and we couldn't send out the World Time Capsule. The World Time Capsule is important so people in the future can find out about us.
I think the potential is really endless.
These kinds of things renew teachers. And when teachers get renewed, the whole school as an institution gets renewed. Administrators get renewed around them. Parents get renewed because they see students enthusiastic about their work. And the questions like, why do we have to do this stuff from students just doesn't surface. The students know why they're involved. And at the same time, the results of all these things are in fact new ideas, at least new to these students. They carry along with them commitments to make humankind better for all people.
The World Time Capsule will help awaken individuals to new thoughts, expand intellectual horizons, and stimulate an examination of personal and collective values. It will reach out to people around the world, demonstrating the common bonds of humankind, contributing to world understanding and peace. We form a collective story about ourselves, share it around the world for the enlightenment of all, preserve it for future generations, and then hurl it off into the great abyss. Words, pictures, songs, some vestige of humankind, a message for eternity, a lesson for us here and now, and a gift for our children.
Hi, my name's Jenny Lynn Sweat, and I value life. Life is a beautiful thing. We all do not share the same kind of life. We live in many different ways. We must value life while we still have life, or else it will just slip away. I really value life because it's so nice, and I think you should value it too. Life is a wonderful thing.